Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And let me turn the volume down here. And I want to show you the radio just yet. I'll give you a little history. It's over 20 years ago, I went to a ham fest with a close friend of mine. He was, at that time, a general class ham, and he was quite a few years older than me, and he was kind of my mentor starting into amateur radio. And he was a super nice guy, and we used to go to Hamfest together. And we were at a Hamfest, and I saw this radio. Well, not this radio, but a radio like this one, and I was really fascinated by it. Of course, I'm one of those persons that's fascinated by knobs and dials and meters and stuff like that. So I asked him, I said, you know, what do you think of this radio? And he says, that radio is a toy. You don't want that radio. Because he was a die-hard Collins guy. Now, his name was Ken, and I always took his advice. So I passed it up. And after I retired, 10 years ago, I really, and he had died, and I really miss him. I decided the next time I see a good deal on one of these radios, I'm going to get it. And I realized, you know, it's not a Collins radio, it's not a Hammerlin, you know, it's something different. So I have been looking for a deal. Now, I didn't want to pay a lot of money for it because, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on whether you're selling or buying, the price of these things have gone through the roof. And like I say, they came out about late 1970s, early 1980s. That's how old they are. And I don't know how much they were back then, but they were probably pretty pricey. Well, I got an opportunity yesterday. Every morning, I go on eBay and I look for radios to buy to review on my show. New ones, old ones, whatever. And I've got a kind of a mental list, although I need to write it down because my memory's getting bad, of radios I'm looking for. And so I spend about an hour every morning on eBay and sometimes on Craigslist looking for radios and electronics, things that deal with my show. Well, yesterday morning I found a brand new post. It had just been posted for this radio and I think one other one. The other one had been posted for quite some time, and it's a good deal, but I have one of those, so wasn't interested. So anyway, I saw this, and it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning yesterday. So I sent an email to the seller, and the little map that they sometimes show you on Craigslist will give you some idea where the person is located. And it showed that he was close to me, possibly within a couple of miles of me. So I sent him an email, and he had listed his phone number, and I thought, I don't want to call him, at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'll send him an email and hope that somebody else doesn't get in there and grab it before I do. Because the price on it was unbelievable. And you always worry about, if it's unbelievable price, there must be something wrong with it. So I thought, but it's Craigslist, it's local, I can go look at it. So he quickly responded to my email and said, give me a call. And this was like 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30. And so I called him, and he says, what would you like to do? I said, I'd like to come see the radio. And he says, well, when would you like to come? I go, right now? He goes, well, no, I just got up, how about 9 o'clock? I go, okay, fine, whatever's convenient for you. And I'm looking at my watch, I'm like, that's an hour and a half I have to wait in anticipation of seeing this radio. Okay, I should stop babbling. I babbled long enough. So I got there, I saw the radio. It had the typical problem that I read that this radio has, which is dirty contacts. It had that problem. And it worked on AM fine, it worked on FM fine, but shortwave, it was very intermittent depending on the switch. So he had several other radios, and I recognized the guy that I had bought a radio from him maybe a year or two ago that was pristine. And he always seems to have pristine radios as far as looks. And he's in the business of servicing audio equipment. And he travels throughout the United States servicing audio equipment, major size audio equipment. And so that's how he occasionally picks up a little gem like this one. And so he showed me a couple other radios, and I started getting dizzy. He had so many radios, and they were all nice. So I said to myself, I got to restrict myself. I only brought a limited amount of money, and I don't really need any more big radios. He had a Helicrafter, a big Helicrafter 99, which looked immaculate, but that is a big radio. It's about twice the size of this one, if you can believe that. So he showed me another radio, which I won't mention because I bought that one too. So I bought the two radios, and I don't want to tell you the price because if you heard the price, you would probably call the police and report that I stole them, because I stole them. I mean, he was super nice. He sold them for less than he had paid for them recently, and these are gems. They're not, beat up or anything like that. So anyway, so much. Gosh, I babbled for 7 minutes. Anyway, here's the radio. It's the Panasonic. Isn't that beauty? RF4900. And like I say, Ken, who went with me to that ham fest, said, this is a toy. You don't want this. You need Collins radio. That's what you need. Well, Collins radios are expensive. This one, at that time, this was 20-some years ago or more, was $100. And Ken says, you're wasting your money. Let's go find some Collins radios. So we passed it up. And a couple years after that, I'm like, because the price has gone up to like $300, $350 now. Well, it works fabulous, and it looks immaculate. I mean, I've been watching these on eBay, for instance, for a couple of years now, and they're typically kind of beat up. Like, when I say beat up, they've not been taken care of. They've been stored, in a closet or something. But people don't even take the time to wipe them off, get the dust off them. So they look terrible. And you're like, if you didn't bother to clean it up, I'm leery of it. And they want a starting price of $250 on the auction. It's like, no, I'll pass. So I've not found what I considered a bargain. Now, I've seen clean ones, really nice ones, but they're in a big demand. So the bidding just goes through the roof. So I've not been lucky enough to find one. So I found this one. The gentleman was nice enough to give me a good deal on this one and another radio, which I'll be showing you in another show. And it just looks fantastic. And you can kind of see, let me zoom in here if I don't break anything. My lighting in here, I'm in my workshop. It is actually not too bad this morning. It's been warming up. Oh, I'm a little bit off here. Let me see if I can dare slide this up a little bit. There we go. And over a little bit. I'm trying to get it centered. There we go. I can say my lighting is terrible. And the color, for some reason, the color definitions are bad. I think using this orange cloth, the camera color corrected for this orange cloth, and now everything's orange. Anyway, lots of dials and knobs and switches. This is AM, FM, shortwave, the whole shortwave band, and it's got a bunch of interesting features. Now, some people, like my friend Ken, would say, they're just a novelty. It's a toy, it's a novelty. I think it's cool. I'm just going to quickly go around the face here and tell you about the switches. Maybe I can zoom in a little more without cutting any of it off. There we go. I'm looking at the monitor, and the color is really off. And since I babbled so long, I don't want to start the video off. So this is dark black, so bear that in mind. And like I say, it looks pristine. I'm looking at my monitor, and it looks like it's washed out. Anyway, on-off switch, external speaker, record out. If you want to hook this to a recorder, auxiliary in if you want to use this as an amplifier speaker. Over here we have 4 knobs: a volume, a bass, a treble, and a BFO, because it does do single sideband. There is a BFO knob. Up here we have FM bandwidth. I'll get it right in a minute. AM noise limiter, and then the AM or single sideband switch. This is the switch that was giving me trouble. We could not get it consistently to work at his house. When I got it home and I put it on my bench, shortwave was working, AM was working fine. So I've not touched it. I haven't cleaned it yet. All right, now we have 2 tuning knobs, this small one and the large one. And you would think one of them would be the fast tuning and one would be the band spread. Well, that's not the case. This knob here is for tuning shortwave band 1, medium wave, and FM. This one is for shortwave band 2 through 8. And this one, the way you switch from fast tuning to slow tuning is you pull it out a little bit, and then when you pull it out a little bit, it's slow tuning, and so the frequency doesn't change that fast. Over here, this little kind of, you put your finger on it button and you turn it, or use a screwdriver. That's for correcting the frequency display readout right here, in case it's a little bit off. Now, I have noticed that when I get it corrected so it's right on, if I switch bands, I have to recalibrate it again. It doesn't say calibrated across the bands. Oh, by the way, Ray Allen on his website has a detailed review and story about him getting one that was in pretty bad shape and revamping it, and all the trials and tribulations he had to go through to clean it up, because it was stored in a barn, I think. It was really in bad shape. So over here we have the band selector for the shortwave bands 2 through 8. And then here's we have for either selecting this or selecting shortwave 1, medium wave, and FM. Those are 2 band selectors. Down here we had an antenna trimmer, so that when you change frequencies, you can try to help tune the antenna you have. Down here we have, and I'm not sure what this is, I got to do a little research here, that it's marked AM RF gain as opposed to volume. And it's on one side of the dial it's local, and the other side it's DX. So I just keep that in DX. And then we have 3 more switches. We have a light on and off for the dials. Now, it doesn't show up too well here because it got some bright lights on, but depending on what band you're in, if you're in the medium wave FM shortwave 1, this dial light lights up and this one turns off. If you're in shortwave 2 through 8, this one lights up. And like I said, I've got bright lights on it, so it doesn't show up too well. Matter of fact, I might turn the light off for a second later. Kind of, maybe it'll fix the color correction on my camera. The next one is the digital display on and off. Now, let me just sidetrack here for a minute. This radio, it's right now, it's got an AC power supply, and it's got a power cord that unplugs from the back, and you can use this, believe it or not, it weighs about 40 pounds. You can use it mobile. And there is a compartment on the bottom where I think you can put in 8 or 10 batteries to battery this monster, to power this monster on batteries. And so that's what the display on and off. You can turn the display off to conserve the battery power. And then the last one is indicator, either signal or battery. So this indicator over here can be either selected to indicate the signal strength or the battery strength. I think that's it. It has multiple connections on the back for antennas. It has an external medium wave antenna. It has, I think, 3 connectors for wire type antennas, and it has a coaxial cable connector, which is what I'm connected to right now for shortwave 2 through 8. I have it connected to, would you believe, I have it connected to my Slinky antenna. Now there again, my friend Ken would say, why are you using a toy for an antenna? Well, I had to try it, and it was available instantly this morning, so I just plugged it in. So, and it's working great. What you were hearing was WWCR out of, I think, Nashville, Tennessee, or somewhere up in the northern part of the United States. The radio is working fabulous. And there's no hum. There's no AC hum on it from the transformer and the capacitors. The volume's nice and loud. Tuning is very smooth. It's even got this little knob here so you can really tune fast. I think that's about all I can say about the radio. Again, the gentleman was really nice to me and gave me a really good deal on it. His price that he advertised on Craigslist was a good deal, and he gave me even a break below that because I bought 2 of his radios, and with the potential of buying maybe 2 more. He had a night kit, and he had that big helicopter, which I'd love to have, but I just don't have any room for it. I was thinking this morning, maybe I can make a deal with him and I can rent it from him to do a show and then give it back to him because I just don't have any place for it. So that's it. If you have any experience with this radio, please let us know. Like I say, the review that Bree Allen did, the one he had was in very bad shape, but he was able to clean it up and it was working fantastic. And he really liked it. And I really like this radio. And I love all the knobs and switches and manual tuning. It's a far cry from an SDR. So let me see if I've still got that station. Getting a little weak. There he is. Very easy to tune. Now, band conditions have improved this week for shortwave. Matter of fact, 2 or 3 days ago, the band conditions were pretty good. They subsequently kind of dropped off again. We had a solar number of 75, I think, like Wednesday, and so I was able to tune quite a few things on Wednesday. That's it. I think I've covered everything. I'm really excited about this because, like I said, I've been wanting one of these for, I'd say 3 or 4 years, definitely, since the one I missed 25 years ago. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. Have a great day. Bye-bye.